Some lights float gently across the sky of an unfamiliar city. A red car races through the streets, and we see a man on a motorcycle wearing a helmet, his face marked by sudden shock. That same red car collides with the motorcyclist, striking him from the side. The impact sends both the man and his motorcycle flying, with a necklace thrown to a separate frame beneath. The rider crashes headfirst into the ground, and the motorcycle lands not far ahead. We then witness the red car driver flee the scene, offering no assistance. With his fading strength, the injured motorcyclist reflects on his life, replaying moments from childhood to adulthood. He remembers his school days, his early career, and above all, his mother, who struggled to support him alone after his father passed, even falling into debt for his sake. Recently, his mother succumbed to pancreatic cancer. He wonders if she would still be proud of him. The discarded necklace begins to glow intensely, catching the motorcyclist's attention. It was a gift from his late father. Mustering the last of his strength, he reaches for the necklace, his only remaining connection to the world. As he touches it, brilliant rays of light envelop him. Suddenly, we transition to a new setting. A man with long hair and dressed in white robes lies in bed. He opens his eyes, puzzled at being alive. He is certain he died in that crash. His thoughts are soon invaded by memories that aren't his. We're introduced to another person. Shoai. A couple approaches him as he wakes, plagued by headaches. A man with dark clothes and a tied-back hairstyle informs him that he had been unconscious for 3 days. His stomach growls. A woman dressed in purple, with a sad expression, speaks of the scarcity of food. She asks the tied-hair man if there's any news about someone named Bangda. Through Shoai's internal narration, we learn about Bangda, who monopolized salt and iron, seeking to forge a perfect sword blessed by a priest. The tied-hair man responds with a somber face, eyes cast to the ground, hopeless. As the conversation unfolds, Shoai contemplates the cause of their predicament. We are shown an oppressive commander from the Farhead faction, who imposed brutal taxes, plunging people into debt. The man leaves, asking the woman to take care of Shoai. We get a wide shot of their surroundings: stone-paved roads, scattered buildings, all enclosed by high walls. Shoai arrives at a nearby house and introduces us to the couple from earlier: Chun, a blacksmith, a kind mother, and their children, the older brother Chohook and younger sister Cho-yin. Shoai reflects on the influx of foreign memories, having retained nothing from his former world. Shadowy figures with glowing red eyes flash in his mind as he ponders a name: Simon. The mere thought of it stirs uncontrollable rage. He questions why he remembers a past life, wondering if he's truly meant to live someone else's. Frustrated, he thinks of his past life as a 7-year government worker living miserably. He considers if this is some twisted web novel scenario. Wanting answers, he seeks out his brother, who is practicing martial arts alone in the backyard. Upon finding him, Shoai doubts his brother's skill, noticing he isn't particularly talented. The brother checks in, asking if Shoai feels better. Shoai says he's fine and inquires where he learned to fight. The brother explains he learned from a soldier in exchange for alcohol. Shoai, unimpressed, questions whether the man was even a real soldier. His brother snaps back defensively. This interaction gives Shoai the first glimpse into his brother's personality. The conversation shifts. The brother mentions legendary martial artists, saying ordinary people like them can never compare. He asks if Shoai wants to learn martial arts, but Shoai declines, internally judging everyone around him as simple-minded. Looking at the sky, he thanks fate for at least being alive. With renewed resolve, he says, "Today, I begin life as Shoai, and I will survive." 2 months later, Shoai shares glimpses of his routine. Occasionally, their father returns home with enough money to buy food. The family doesn't know how he gets it, but nobles sometimes visit him at tea dinner. The truth emerges. The father borrowed 60 gold coins from a loan shark. This sparks an argument between him and his wife. She fears for their lives, but he insists it was the only way to avoid starvation. He tries to calm her, saying he'll handle the problem as the family eats. Shoai reflects on the poor hygiene in their home. The father belches, cleans his teeth with a toothpick, and flicks the debris onto the table. Shoai's sister mentions wanting to wash her hair. Disheartened, Shoai asks his father about strong animal hair. His father suggests bear hair and offers some from a recent hunt. Shoai accepts and uses it to craft toothbrushes. He ties the hair to slim wooden sticks using glue. When his sister sees what he's making, she's curious. He brushes it off, but her pout makes him smile. After completing the brushes, he places them in a wooden box and gives them to his family, explaining how to use them. His father, impressed, asks if they could sell them. They head to the market with a small batch and sell 250 brushes in 3 hours, earning 500 silver coins. Shoai does the math, 5 gold coins in profit. He estimates that with full family help, they could produce 3,000 brushes daily and clear their debt in no time. Returning home, they celebrate. His mother is overwhelmed with joy. The once gloomy household is now filled with hope and purpose as everyone pitches in to build a better future together. The next morning, when they return to the market, they're stunned by what they see. Multiple stalls now line the road, each selling replicas of the toothbrushes they had created. To make matters worse, some even featured improvements. One vendor proudly explains that his version has an iron core, making it 2 to 3 times more durable than the wooden original. Overwhelmed with frustration, Shoai buries his face in his hands, lamenting how his idea had been stolen. He reflects on how, in this time, there were no laws protecting originality or invention. Now desperate, father and son are left wondering how they'll manage to earn the money needed to pay off the loan shark. With just 15 days remaining, in silent disappointment, they return home. Shoai's mind is racing, filled with half-formed plans. He considers replicating technology or even building a weapon from his past life, but quickly abandons those ideas due to the difficulty and time they would require. His thoughts are interrupted by his sister, who asks if he had forgotten to fetch water so she could wash her hair. Caught between stress and irritation, brushes her off. She's concerned with appearance, while he's burdened by survival. A small argument ensues. Their brother, Hick, steps in, stopping their quarrel and beginning his daily martial arts practice, something Shoai views as a pointless effort given their circumstances. Yin runs to Hick and asks if he's noticed that their brother has been acting differently. She brings up how H had calculated their brush production and profits so quickly, which seemed unusual. Hick replies that while he was surprised, it wasn't entirely shocking. H had always been studious. Hearing this, Shoai begins to realize something. Mathematics, a simple concept in his world, isn't widely understood here. Could this give him an advantage? We then get a glimpse of Shoai's past life, filled with technological advancements and boundless opportunities to learn. The mere act of applying this knowledge had already impressed his sister. He begins to wonder, could he be considered a genius in this world? He picks up a stick and kneels in the dirt, asking his siblings for a moment. He starts scribbling ideas onto the ground, trying to find a path forward. One idea after another is discarded until one word stands out: economy. The next day, Shoai visits his father at the forge. With confidence, he requests the right of succession for the Cho family's forge. His father, confused and skeptical, demands to know what nonsense he's spouting. Shoai explains that he has a plan that could change everything. His father argues that a child can't possibly run a forge, lacking both experience and the sacred blacksmith spirit. Calmly, Shoai asks his father how long he believes he can continue living this way. His father stares at him, dumbfounded, hammer in hand. Sitting on a wooden log, Shoai calmly presses on, asking what would happen if a loan shark showed up to sever his arm over unpaid debts. That question infuriates his father, who stands in anger, but Shoai remains composed, meeting his father's glare without fear. Shoai then methodically breaks down the workshop's costs, including tools and the anvil, and highlights the forge's solid reputation, suggesting it could be used as collateral. He challenges his father. Could a blacksmith alone earn 300 silver coins? Visibly frustrated, his father lashes out. But Shoai stands his ground, promising to repay everything threefold. His father accuses him of lacking morals, questioning the ethics of negotiating with one's own parent. He even raises the forge hammer, but stops short, noticing the unwavering confidence in his son's eyes. He begins to wonder, was his son truly changed after falling ill? Curious now, his father lowers the hammer, sighs, and asks Shoai to continue with his explanation. H reveals his goal, to transform the forge into the best in an way. His father, still skeptical, listens as Shoai outlines his plan. He would buy iron ingots at 3 silver coins each and focus on mass-producing iron plows, the forge's most popular item. Shoai proposes undercutting the current price by 30%, an idea his father initially detests. Shoai elaborates. Currently, crafting a single iron plow takes about 15 days. But what if they could make one in 4 or 5? His father rejects that idea too, explaining that even with a daily wage of 10 silver coins, it would cost 40 coins just in labor. Shoai then begins to explain basic economic principles, supply and demand. He proposes hiring 20 workers and having his father train them. He outlines the roles they would need: smelters, charcoal burners, and more. He even maps out a rotating shift system to maximize efficiency. As Shoai continues, his father, once doubtful, begins to listen more intently. What once seemed far-fetched now appears possible. H concludes by explaining the final roles, how they'd sell products using discounts and deals, and how every worker would receive a different daily wage based on their responsibilities. That if all goes to plan, they begin by producing 20 plows a day and increase from there. The profits could reach 60 gold coins a month. Though the idea challenges everything he believes in, the thought of earning enough to change their lives makes his father reconsider. Deep down, he still believes it betrays the spirit of the blacksmith. But faced with such potential, he begins to waver. Sensing this, Shoai pushes one final time. His father finally agrees. On one condition, Shoai must give up his own dream of becoming a blacksmith. And just like that, they strike a deal.